Hi all, welcome back. Enemy Action Kharkov, German Soul. This is part 42. Just starting up. So there's my hand of cards. We didn't get pop-off activation last turn. All that happened was the first guards, and they pushed one of my units back. Took 2 hits himself though, if I recall, and yeah, probably gave us more of a chance to maybe have a go. Although I think the second advance of that unit, the other unit advanced in, didn't it? It would have been nice if it just been the 4 strength, if I recall rightly. But however, that's something that we won't be rushing into just now anyway. Although we do have the 40 Panzer Corps card, but we've got more important things to deal with at the moment. We want to deploy some of our reserves. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. I'm pretty sure I'm playing this card. Because we can protect a VP Hex that's vulnerable right now if we deploy Third Corps. A Third Corps unit can deploy in there. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure that's okay, because this pop-off unit's proximate. I did want to check. Is it worthwhile looking? Would he move there? Would he take that VP Hex if he was breaking surround? Well, it's just going to be 9.23, isn't it? Cause a surrounded German unit to become no longer surrounded does not apply if the German unit is isolated or the moving unit is in a hex outside the current operational limit. Well, there you go. That would restrict him, going by what I'm reading there. Unless for some reason movement method 1 said take VB hex and don't care about how you do it. We're still going to be in turns. This is turn 4, so we're still following the same 1 to 4 turns. Move to an empty German-owned town city hex unless targeted exclusively for the inactive front. Well, that is targeted for the front. It just got me thinking there. Empty map edge, VP hex. Where on the map? Is that the only... No, there's one down there. No, there's 2 down there. Right, okay. Nah, never mind. No, it doesn't seem to sort of say... You think it would maybe... If it had the chance to go and take that VPX, it would just go and do it. But according to that, it's going to be restricted from moving away from that. I'm still not sure we should really take chances with that. Although I'm starting to swither about that one. Because, I mean, I'm using this to deploy 2 cores. The only card we don't have in our hand is second SS, and I think I do want to deploy second SS units, because I want to get them as close to... Thing is, the 48 core units, we're getting 3 48 core units and only 2 second SS units. But we don't have a second SS card. We've got the 48 Panzer Corps card. So why not make the most of this? And then, bit of luck, we draw... Because what if you don't draw a second SS card though, Grant? Because what I want to be able to do is deploy something around Kharkov, and then my next impulse, I want to move it into position, because it's all very well me saying I've got 2 second SS units and I'm going to deploy them maybe, they need to be 3 away, I want to, maybe there, I'm going to deploy them there, which is all very well, but however, if these guys come in, I'm saying that, I could deploy them there, couldn't I? That might cause more bother. Well, That would stop surround, wouldn't it? Yeah. Yeah, what I was trying to say there was it's all very well me deploying them, but am I going to get to move them next turn? Whereas if I used this to deploy 48th Corps, I would know I would have this card in my hand next turn to be able to deploy them, you know? To be able to move them, move them into a better position. So, there's a sort of... Well, why don't you, if you feel safe enough about leaving Wazovia, I could use that to deploy 2nd SS and 48 Corps, then knowing that I can move the 48 Corps units next turn, next impulse. And I've still got the 3rd Corps card to deploy the 3rd Corps units. Yeah. Well, I thought it was coming simply on to say I'm going to play this and deploy the 2nd SS and the 3rd Corps, and there we go. Now changing my thought on this. I mean, admittedly, that would deploy 5 units round about the Kharkov area, 2 2nd SS and 3 48 Corps units, and and I could deploy, well, I'd deploy the 2nd SS first, and I think I would deploy them here, like I say. And there's no 48 Corps units on the map, is there? What is this? Ah, yeah, he's the 57 Corps guy. There's no 48 Corps units on the map, so I would then be placing them within 3 of a 4th Panzer Army unit, which would probably be the 2nd SS units. But I mean, they could all just be in this. Well, they could be along a bit around here, you know, protecting things more. But we want to make sure we've got quite a bit around Kharkov. But I suppose we could create a bit of a line to sort of stop that pop-off force all pushing through. Yeah. I suppose the slight worry to that 6th Army activate and maybe do something to this guy, because he, like I say, he's my perfect buddy to be deploying from 3 into Wazovia. So if something was to happen to him, or of course, yeah, here's the other thing. I mean, if 6th Army did activate, there's a chance. Do I think they can get surround actually? 1, 2, 3, not quite. But if a unit did come around to even this hex, that would stop me from deploying into Wazovia as well. I quite like the idea of having this card in my hand and some 48 Corps units on the map, though. I really do quite like the idea of that, because, you know, we're only going to draw 1 card, but it could be, you know, if it was Corps Rouse, I wouldn't be too disappointed. And obviously it's 2nd SS, because I'm going to deploy them. So you've got 2 chances of a card that might, and the fact you've not got any of the cards or played any of the cards, I mean, we've only got 3, 4, 5, we've only got 6 cards. So the chances are pretty high you're going to get one of the 2. Our 2nd SS would be better than the Corps Rouse, because Corps Rouse are more just sort of bumps in the road, really, being just 1 step, 2 strength infantry units. Right, are you absolutely sure that guy can't come? Nothing else is proximate to Wazovia, Grant? Don't think so. I mean, they're not. This is mechanised, but he's kind of behind the 3rd Corps unit. I mean, if it had been him that was out there, then maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, see, but that's just infantry in there, isn't it? Yeah. So He is, and what about, yeah, for these guys to come across, it's 3 to get across there, and then 4, 5, 6, to be honest. Yeah, they're nowhere. And even once Popov moves into Zimiev, that's not helping them to, because the road goes down first and then comes along. So this guy is the only guy that's proximate to Lazovia. And just what I'm reading, if we activate Popov right now, if another unit moved up there and then he would be able to move away and keep surrounding the guy, fair enough, but, well, that's a point. Well, movement method 1 is that's the movement method we're talking about, isn't it? So, if no other unit can move into that, we're going to get down to unit 23, checking to see if he can get to that, and he can get to it, but he's then going to be said, no, you can't, you're restricted. I guess it just feels a bit weird that he's, I know surround's important, yes, but taking a victory point town, just walking into it, wouldn't you thought? I'm pretty sure if I got out some enemy action Ardennes rules, I've got the feeling in my head right now that if they could take a VP, in fact, was it not the first couple of movement methods, they ignored the restrictions? It was something like that, wasn't it? Yeah, just thought I would grab the Allied, this is the Allied solo rules from Enemy Action Ardennes, which is the sort of compared game to this one. So their restrictions are 9.21 in the book. Restrictions on German movement, and remember this is the Germans that are moving, we're playing as the Allies. And restriction B is do not move a unit if doing so will cause a currently surrounded Allied unit to become no longer surrounded. So just the same as 9.23 in this book says, do not cause non-isolated German unit to become unsurrounded. That's me just reading it out there. Clearly, to be honest, let's look at the rulebook. Right? Yeah, it's the same thing anyway. You know what I'm talking about. Do not conduct a move if it would cause a surrounded German unit to become no longer surrounded. Okay. Well, within the German movement methods and enemy action Ardennes Allied solo, they've got special moves. Movement methods 1 to 4. Right, hang on. It's movement methods 1 to 4, but movement method 1 are special moves. And it says special moves are not subject to the restrictions of 9.21. So they ignore all the restrictions. First one's exiting the map, right? We don't have any of that in this game. The next one's moving adjacent to the Meuse River. But C is enter an empty Allied VP hex, which is just the same as me saying enter an empty German VP hex. Well, they've obviously done away with that, and I'm pretty sure. I was thinking about asking about it, but surely the guys would have. Surely this would have been noticed, and they've obviously deliberately done this, and feel. Yeah, well, you know what? I've not asked a daft question today yet, so why not? That's me went and asked my daft question of the day. Well, I've actually mentioned it at the beginning, maybe not sort of worded it as a question on the actual rule, maybe just more a question on maybe why they changed that, It would seem to me more important for that guy to go and grab the victory point town than it would to keep that unit surrounded, but I don't know. Maybe what would you do yourself? But we know that doesn't come into the AI because sometimes they do different things. sometimes they do strange things and not the best move sometimes. Okay, yeah, the other thing I started thinking was, originally thinking about deploying third corps, it would mean I've got the third corps card to then move the third corps units about, and they're the ones that are going to deploy the most. They're going to deploy 5 units. So yeah, we do have one in the. Yeah, I'm not going to use that to replace the point, am I? No, that's silly. I want to get reserves out first. Right, well, make up your mind, Grant. What are you going to do? I mean, yeah, I'm definitely putting that card, but what are you going to deploy? Is it going to be the 48 and the second SS, or is it going to be the third corps and the second SS? I think that's what it boils down to, really. No. That's what it boils down to, Grant. This is just such a tough choice. So I'm going to play this card, and that's going to be one of the 2 corps I'm going to deploy. It's just such a tough choice because I think that was an amazing hand that I just drew, wasn't it? For the position that I'm in, I think that really looks like it gives me a chance of maybe just having one more turn of the game and maybe holding on. We'll see. Wait to see the end of this turn. It'll be all over the place. They'll be on about 20 victory points or something, and I'll be like panicking about actually maybe losing the game. It does feel like a really good hand and a really good chance, but I just feel like this is maybe critical about making the right decision here. That seems correct because I don't have a card in hand to deploy them, and it just depends on, do I want to deploy 5 third corps units or 3 48 corps units? I'm swaying towards the 48 corps because remember the third corps have to be deployed along in this area at best. I mean, they can go further up, but so they're not really involved in that. I mean, when I do deploy them, yes, I'm going to deploy possibly. I'm not sure. I think I might spread them out a little bit and get the mechanized units in here. Maybe leave the infantry up there, and use the mechanized units to sort of shore up this part, and then the 48th Corps and 2nd SS further along there, or something like that. Just how to do this. I feel confident about the fact this guy can't come down and take that though. So, like I say, the only worry could be that 6th Army move in here and maybe, well, either retreat. Well, hang on, if they moved into there, 1, 2, 3. No, that would be okay if they moved into there. But if they did have a big attack and maybe a 2-hex advance and this guy advanced twice, then on saying that, we would be retreating back towards those over. But yeah, you could just play it safe, Grant, and deploy the 3rd Corps here. This feels more exciting though, doesn't it? This feels more like, let's get Kharkov protected, because I mean, it's going to get flanked from 3rd Tank and Popov. So yeah, I might be telling you, maybe don't put all your units in here, Grant. You're maybe going to get smashed. Right, I think I'm going to go with this. I'm just going to pause one last time before I commit myself. Yeah, I just thought I'd have a wee brush up on what garrisons kind of do. I suppose it is similar. Again, you must stop when you move adjacent to a garrison. Now, I can't trace proximity through or around the garrison unless I start adjacent to it, because obviously if I'm starting adjacent to a garrison, when I activate the unit, the garrison's going to go away, and that's what happens when you activate a unit adjacent to a garrison, it's going to go away. So yeah. Yeah, you just said that twice, Grant. Okay. Yeah, garrison markers are also removed when what I just said. Soviet unit ends its move, advance, or retreat in the marker's hex. Okay. Yeah, because that didn't happen in the Soviet, and I was confused by that one. So it will take it away if it lands in it. A Soviet reserve unit is placed in the hex, a German unit retreats into the hex. Okay. And yeah, and we can't place reserves in the hex. However, we can deploy reserves adjacent to it, which isn't a bad idea because obviously when you activate the unit, obviously the garrison's going to automatically go away. So that's something to kind of think about here. If I'm going to go with this and deploy these units. The other thing I wanted to check was I mentioned about strategic movement, and there was talk of like moving this guy with strategic movement 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into there originally before this garrison appeared, and I thought, oh, can I still do that? Well, no, I can't. Strategic movement, the unit can't start its move adjacent to an enemy unit or garrison, and the unit can't move adjacent to an enemy unit or garrison during the activation. So I will not be able to do that with the Rouse units. So I will be able to move 4 into there if I wanted, or 1, 2, 3, 4 into there. But if I'm deploying all these guys anyway, although it does give me an extra chance because if I draw the Rouse card, you know, but then I've got the 48th Corps card if I do it this way as well. So, yeah, okay. I think I'm going to do this. I think I am. I think we can take that little chance with the 3rd Corps. And you know what? I mean, if the guy gets pushed back, or even if he gets eliminated, though, that is trouble because then we need him to be able to trace 3 from. So yeah, there's that. Right, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do what I've got on that card. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to deploy these 2 corps. Now, how am I going to go about that then, Grant? Well, obviously, the 2nd SS need to be within 3 of Kharkov, because that's where their corps are, and then they also need to abide by all the other restrictions. So I'll get the page. Probably just actually I can follow this in the. Well, you know what? I'll get the rule book bit out as well. And I'll pause just now. Okay, so I'm doing this. We're taking the chance. Yeah, we're taking the chance. Okay, so I'm going to deploy. I mean, I can deploy them in any order I want. Which might be important because remember these are 2 3-step units. But well, that's I was going to say I'd be better keeping the 2nd SS units. Well, on saying that, they're going to have to deploy. Well, the first one's going to have to deploy within 3 of that, isn't it? However, the fact that I've got the 48th Corps card in my hand, and maybe want to move these. I maybe want to get 1 in here if I can, or maybe even 2 in here. So I need to be able to deploy them. Yeah, well, something like that. I'd like to deploy them adjacent to the garrison as well. That 1, 2, 3 away. That would be 3 away as well. It'll be a clear hex. However, now can I trace? How do I get to trace supply regarding garrisons then? I sure we can't trace through them. Yeah, so I can't trace through garrisons when I'm tracing supply. So in actual fact, if I did, I wouldn't be able to place a unit here because remember this is a clear hex adjacent to a supplied road. And I'm assuming this is a supplied road. Yeah, it is. But I wouldn't be able to do that because I wouldn't be able to trace. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to trace through that hex. I could do it there though, I think. And that way I trace into it. I mean, they don't exert a zone of control, it's just I can't trace through them. And there, we trace onto the road there. Yeah, because that doesn't count as a supply head hex for me, because it's a garrison in it, whereas this one does. So I could deploy there, I think. Again, it's just to try and get, you know, I could deploy one there, and I could deploy one in here. Okay. Right. Well, let's see where you're going to go then, Grant. Well, you were thinking here right away. So if I put unit 1 there, or do I want to consider putting them both there? Maybe, because maybe what I would do is just place both of them there, and then from there, something like these two here, and possibly 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we would get away with that. That one along there. Is that a bit? You know what? That's not bad actually, because that is holding a line there and there. That's actually holding a line right round. Okay, so right, I'm gonna reserve the right to change that. As I've been saying. So if I deploy this unit first in here, this is all with tactical reserve deployment. So it's in the unit's army area, yeah, 4th Panzer army area, and it's in a road hex as a valid friendly supply head, or a clear terrain hex adjacent to such a friendly supply head. These are on the road. This comes down to there, and you know, there's not a problem with that. And moving to these as well, assuming I'm going to leave these guys here, there's not a problem with them tracing on the same road. And this is what I was saying about this guy. I couldn't put him here, but I could put him here. Now he's adjacent to a supply road. He's on a clear hex adjacent to it. He can trace into here. Well, he needs to be adjacent to the supply road, and that's what that is. Whereas it wouldn't work with that one, right? So it's on that, and then, yeah, that's fine. And he's away. So they're all able to be deployed there regarding the supply status, right? They then need to be at least 3 hexes away from an enemy unit or enemy town or city, excluding isolated enemy units. So 1, 2, 3. This is 3 away. 1, 2, 3 away. The garrisons don't count. Well, they don't count with tactical reserve deployment. They do actually with strategic, which is a bit of a pain. So, but we're doing tactical. So these are 3 away, and these guys are 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. So no issues there. And this guy, he's 1, 2, 3 away as well. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So no issues with that. And then within these restrictions, yeah, it says not in a hex. Sorry, finishing off with the restriction. Not in a hex containing a Soviet garrison, but may be adjacent. So we're good with these. And like I say, when I activate 48 core, they 2 garrisons are going to go away. Well, I can't deploy an adjacent to that one anyway, so we're just going to have to suck that up. Ah, oh, that's annoying. Well, is it not? Yeah. Well, you can bring. Yeah, I'm going to be able to move 1. If there was a zone of control, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into there. I can move these guys round into there. That was me counting on breaking a zone of control. But to be honest, if Popov do activate, there's a chance. Yeah, there's a chance these units are maybe going into here. But I can't stop that. I can't deploy into here because it's only 2 away from from a Soviet unit. So that's as close as I can get. However, if I get the chance to activate either 48 or 2nd SS, yeah, because Kurils we can't get in there now because it would be strategic and I can't do that. So if I do get the chance to activate them before a unit moves into there, I'll be able to get one of them into there. So yeah, good. So within these restrictions, place the unit within 3 hexes of a unit in the same corps. If this is not possible, then place the unit within 3 hexes of a unit in the same army. If neither is possible, the reserve unit can't be placed via tactical reserve deployment. Well, when I place this guy first, right, he is within 3 of a unit in the same corps, and then I'm going to stack him as well. And that's the 2 units. Now, do I want to put them together or... Oh, here's a thought. Why not? Possibly, I could place one of them here, just adjacent to this garrison. And, well, I mean, there might be risks about 3rd tank coming down, but don't know, it's another chance to get rid of a garrison when they activate, but... Yeah, I'm tempted actually. I'm tempted to consider deploying that guy there. 1, 2, 3, he's 3 away. He's within 3 of a unit in the same corps. He can trace supply. Oh, no. Oh, he can't. He's not on the supply road. Because of the garrison. That's right, isn't it? Yeah, because I can't trace supply down the road and I can't trace supply up because I'd be going through this hex, which is zone of control. Oh well, that'll be that then. Let's just put the 2 guys back. Right, fair enough. Well, that forces my hand. Means I've got to go there. Well, I don't have to go there. I mean, I could come further down here, but I really don't see the... Well, hold on though. Can we reach this hex if we wanted to with these guys? That's a point. And the answer could be maybe not. 1, 2, rather than going straight into the woods. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, well, we could. Assuming no zone of control was needing broken. Yeah, okay. So they're within 3 units in the same corps, and I've stacked them both. Now, for the 48 corps guys, there's not a 48 corps unit on the map, so they can't be 3 away from their corps until the first one played. Remember, these all get placed individually, right? So as soon as I place this guy on the map, he's then in play, and then we've got to deploy within 3 of that guy if we can. And in actual fact, if we couldn't do that, then well, we could still look at the army, but we can do that, right? So right, we'll just leave that at that, Grant. So as soon as we place that guy, then I place the other guy right on top, and I place this guy within 3 of a unit in the same corps. Okay, so well, I think that's good if you're happy with that, Grant. Well, I mean, I'm totally not sure, but it feels okay. And like I say, well, what are you going to do when we activate 48 corps? What are you going to do? Assuming Popov does not move, I think I probably want to move both of these into here. And that really shores things up, because that kind of like... here's the other thing though. Would I want one of them on this side? I don't know if I'd want... I like the idea of the Rouse units coming in here now that we've got all the stuff here. If I was to activate, but then what you're going to do first, you're going to activate 48 core first, aren't you? And get, I think this is important, this hex. It feels like, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I could see an argument for splitting these guys up and maybe deploying one of them so that it can move into there. Did I not say I could reach there as well? No, I don't think I probably will. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I couldn't. Not from there. But I think you're deciding that now, Grant, aren't you? This is your choice now about where you mean, because I could deploy one of them down there so that I could then move it into there. I think as long as I'm not, the risk is surrounded. Yeah, and I would chuck the Rouse units in there. And if not in there, if for some reason something comes in there, right, I think I'm going to go with that. I could think about this all night, and still not be happy with it, probably. And I'm sure there's lots of different ways that people watching would say, "Oh, I would put this here." There's lots of different choices, isn't there? And some of you may well have been deploying the 3rd Corps instead of 48, the 48 core guys, and I can see an argument for that too. But I quite like where they're ending up. The fact that we're holding a line right round to this guy, that makes me feel better about things. Yeah, so it's going to be another important Soviet impulse coming up, I think. I mean, they're all kind of important in this turn because it could be that we have a chance this turn. It's possible. I think we need to get lucky, and I think we've got lucky already. The first 2 cards we drew were, what was it? First Guard, 6 Army. And then we also drew Mobile Group Popov as a combat tactic. So, maybe we're riding our luck now with thinking we're going to draw 2 more cards and it's not going to have the words MGP on it. Okay. Right, okay, I think I'm going to do that. What I'm going to do is, I've not drawn any card yet, so I'm still going to maybe I think I'll cut this part now, put it in and just finish here. And just still ponder on this. So there is a possibility I'll come back with starting part 40. What is it? This will be 42, isn't it? Yeah. So there is a possibility that when I start back at part 43 that I've changed my mind here. But I don't think so. I'm hoping that that's me's set. And then, once I draw the cards for the Soviets, then it's set in stone, isn't it? So yeah, I think that's a good use of that card, though. Really, I know it's probably our strongest card, that and the Manstein, but we've not got the Manstein card yet. That doesn't come in until turn 6, I think. Yeah. Okay, right. I'll cut this for now, guys, and put it up because it's near enough 39 minutes, and there's very little being done again. I'm getting really chatty. I'm talking too much. Not an awful lot of gameplay getting done, but right. Hopefully, I'll start getting in the swing of it. Right, I'll be back soon. Cheers.